Hey guys, Josh Froelich here, and today we're going to spend a little bit of time getting the Dissident Arms Defector rifle ready to rock for the Red October Kalashnikov Championship. One of the questions I get asked a lot is how do I get these guns set up, figure out my rifle dope, get the optics dialed in, all of that stuff when I get a brand new rifle. And so I thought I'd take a little bit of time today to walk you through the process that I take to get these things ready to rock. So first step in the process when I get a new rifle is I take some of this burner ammo. Really, it's American Eagle 55 grain, inexpensive 223, and I'm basically just going to put hits on paper. I want to be about 2 inches low, and I want to be right on with windage. So I'm going to get it dialed in close enough so that when I go over to the chrono, I'm not going to be punching holes in my chrono and then I'm close. All right, so we are on paper. I got everything dialed in, and the next step in the process I use is I shoot a few rounds through the chrono with my gamer ammo. So I'm running 69 grain gold medal match. These are Sierras. Through this, it's got a 1-to-7 twist. It's a 14.5-inch barrel on the gun. So I wanted a little speed with the 69s, didn't want to go up to the 77s, just because I wanted to line up with the BDC hash marks the best I can. And so I'm thinking these might be the best fit. So now that it's time to figure out my dope, my rifle dope for long range targets, it's time to hit the chrono. So let's do that. All right, so we got the rifle close enough on paper. We've got it chronoed, and it chronoed out at 26.21 foot per second. And I'm running gold medal match 69s. And so now what I want to do is just dial those in at 50 yards. Well, as much as I need to know the foot per second or the velocity on the ammo, I've got to know the actual distance is actually 50 that I'm zeroing, or all my data is going to be wrong. So I run the Vortex Ranger 1500, helps me dial in and make sure that I'm directly at that 50 yard. So when my zero gets dumped into the Froelich app, everything lines up just the way it's supposed to. Because we're going to go over to long range in a little bit. I'm going to test it out to 200, 300, 400 yards and just make sure that that I'm hitting the way that Froelich tells me I should be. And when you start with real data, you usually get good results. All right, so we're all set up. I got 50-yard paper out there. You want to use paper too, none of this steel. Paper lets you know exactly what the bullet's doing, exactly where the bullet's hitting. So get all dialed in. I like to use some of the game bags that I use while I compete. So Armageddon gear, I'm running one of their pillows, help me get a nice stable rest. So let's punch a couple rounds and we'll see where we're hitting. Last thing I want to do is walk down there, so I like using the Razor spotting scopes. Get everything figured out. All right, so we're all set. I got a 50-yard zero on the gun. Shot about 1 inch, somewhere in that ballpark on at 50 yards. And now I'm down at the 100-yard bay here to just confirm and see what 100 looks like. Then I'm going to go out to 200, 300, and 400 next. So I always like to confirm at 100 because there's a lot of shots at 100. I want to make sure I understand where to hold in order to make sure that I get those hits. So we're going to rip a few here, confirm our 100-yard hold, and then move on down to the next 200, 300, and 400-yard base. So I got the 200 and 300 yard zero down, and figured out all my holds. Froelich was a little bit off, had to make some adjustments on it, but it's about 1.5 inch gun at 100 yards, consistently within a 4-inch group on 200 yards, and on an 8-inch plate 9 out of 10 times at 300. So for an AK, I'm super happy. I think the gun will be perfect for the Kalashnikov Championship, unless Brian and the folks out in Utah are going to be throwing something crazy at us. But in general, that's the recap. Start off by putting rounds on paper with cheap ammo. Chrono, figure out your long-range load velocity. Throw a true zero at the gun at 50 yards, and then bring it over to 100, figure it out, 200, 300, and so on and so forth, depending on the match that you're preparing for. So all in, successful day on the range, gun is zeroed, ready to rock, and now I can just practice. So that's how I take a gun from start to finish out of the box and put it to use, get it ready for match, and then get it practice ready so I can get some reps in. So that's the ticket. Hope that helped.